global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello fam, welcome back to our channel. If this is the first time I've seen this channel, please go ahead subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. For those of us who are with us, we say welcome back. Well, this is good news coming all the way for Biafra, for the Biafra in our community, for those in diaspora, visitors in our channel. We say congratulations to all the Biafrans. This is coming all the way from Nwazurike, as this is good news indeed, and jubilation is actually going on everywhere. It has been jubilation galore since Biafra independence movement, that's BIM, received information that the people of Biafra have been officially admitted as the 46th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, UNPO. One may be wondering, what's this UNPO all about really? But let's still continue before we go into what the UNPO is all about. The Biafra independent movement, that's BIM, and the movement for the actualization of sovereign state of Biafra, that's MASSOB, Chief Raf Nwazurike, had said this about, broke this good news in Hurray, Imo State. Actually, the people of Biafra have been admitted as the 46th member of the Unrepresented Nations and Peoples Organization, UNPO, an international body attached to the United Nations, the European Union, and also the United States of America, Nwazurike said. Your father has confirmed that he has received a letter officially addressed to him, dated way back in April 22nd, 2020, and signed by the UNPO General Secretary Mr. Raf Boucher through his foreign representative Ikenna Obibi Egeono. He said the organization expressed its gladness to welcome the people of Biafra as the new members of the UNPO. By this development, the nation of Biafra joins Catalonia, Scotland, and other nations who are members of UNPO and who are on the verge of getting their independence. Nwazurike said, I have my colleague here in the house, but we really want to look, before we go into the full implication of all this, we really want to look at what does UNPO mean? What do they represent? What is their strength like? How important are they? And why should even Biafrans be jubilating? They say, what jubilation? Well, the UNPO is an international membership organization established to facilitate the voices of the unrepresented, the marginalized nations, and the peoples worldwide. It was actually formed on the 11th of February 1991 in the Netherlands. Its members consist of indigenous peoples, minorities, and unrecognized or occupied territories. UNPO works to develop the understanding of the respect for the right to self-determination, provides advice and support related questions of international recognition and political autonomy, trains group on how to advocate for their causes effectively, and also directly advocates for an international response to human rights violations perpetrated against UNPO members group, some former, which means that if there's any violations against Biafrans in Nigeria or any other state, they can go through UNPO to actualize that. My colleague is in the house.
All right, thank you very much. I'm looking at the Unrepresented Nation and People's Organization. We just want to look at their aim. What's their aim, and how do they help those nations who are their members? And their vision is to affirm democracy as a fundamental human right, implement human, civil, and political right worldwide, uphold the universal right to autonomy and self-determination, and further federalism. It encourages non-violent methodologies to reach peaceful solution to conflict and oppression. UNPO support members in getting their human and cultural rights respected and in preserving their environment. The organization provides a forum for members to network and assist them in participating at an international level. They also have some things that they consider as covenant. There are like 5 of them, and the first is that the equal right to self-determination is one of the 5 principles of UNPO. Adherence to internationally accepted human rights standards as laid down in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and other international instruments. Adherence to the principle of democracy and rejection of rejection of religious intolerance, promotion of nonviolence and the rejection of terrorism as an instrument of policy. And the last is protection of the natural environment. All members are required to sign and abide by the UNPO covenant. Those are the principle enshrined in the covenant.
Wow, this is good news if you ask me. That means
one of the things that I want the IPOBians, or that's the Biafrans, to know is the main thing there is political autonomy, you know, which means they are going to help you in liaising internationally for your independence and the like. So it's a good one, you know.
Which also means that they're just a stone throw now to be in a sovereign state. If they're recognized as the 46th member, which means and back to back, that people who have been there and they have actually been actualized, they become sovereign states.
Like Latvia.
Like even I think Estonia is also Scotland, I think, and all that. They have
Georgia,
they've been there. They have now joined UN proper, as a United Nations. They are now members of United Nations, which means it's the right step in the right direction, honestly, which means they need to comport themselves. They don't even see why you don't even need to carry guns. Because what they are saying, all part of their treaty, what part of their agreement and contractor agreement is, we don't want it. It should be non-violence. We will go through diplomacy. If there's violence, if they violated your human rights, we'll go through the Charter of United Nations and we'll see to it that your rights, human rights, are protected. You see why, when Mazi and Kanu was talking about the issue of not carrying arms, he knew what he was saying. He saw the international treaty and he realized they can actually capitalize on it. And this whole issue of the social media always, bringing forth some of these violent videos or where their human rights are being it gives them an edge, so to speak. But this is a good one. I would say kudos to Nwazurike and also Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as many who have been pushing for the actualization of Biafra. This is right step in the right direction, which means just a stone throw, for them to become a sovereign nation.
And now, what is overly important right now is because they place so much priority on that, and it has to do with the 5 principles that makes up their covenant. Covenant of the membership. Organization. So if you are part of you're a member of that organization, you may be suspended if they notice certain things. For example, violation of any of those principles. For example, if you are involved in terrorism, they get to know that you are involved in terrorism. You are involved in any conduct that goes against the fundamental human rights of any person anywhere. So, and that is why, as at this point, what IPOB, that's what Biafran should be doing now, is to focus their effort, focus their mind on how to build a structure for IPOB. That's build a structure for Biafra. The push for maybe antagonizing people, talking against people and all of that, it should be curtailed right now, because
so that they can get what they're looking for. Yes. But then I need to quickly, make an observation. IPOB is a group. MASSOB is also another group. BIM is also another group, but all fighting for the same cause, which is Biafra. So I think, for me here, I feel that they're all one and the same. And if but they have included Biafra. They actually included everybody, including IPOB. They included MASSOB and BIM. I also feel that everyone should be on their best behavior so that they can get their country once and for all.
I could still remember there was a time we brought up an issue about Nwazurike, and IPOBians were really against him, and most of them said that he had failed them at one point, that he went as far as getting money from the government, that it was a kind of backstabbing. I don't really know more about that, but I think, just like you've rightly said, right now there's need for unification.
Yes,
I listened to one of their, though he's not a part of them yet, he has not come out openly to announce. I'm talking about Father Mbaka, and he talked about unification. You know, they need to unify at this point. There's need for reconciliation right now so that there won't be war in future. Because let's not, what happened to Southern Sudan also, where by the time they had power given to them, what we saw was war here and there. They couldn't, because there were too many people fronting it, and at the point they had to start reacting against each other and all of that. So,
but that's why I'm trying to envisage it. I feel that this is even the best time, all right, for unification,
amalgamation.
Yes, now, because if Biafra is gotten before they unify, then I'm afraid there may be issues, because others may say, look, I came before you, I've been fighting this before you. Others may say, no, you may have been coming before, you may have come before me, you came before me, yes, no doubt.
Or what I have done thus far.
What I've done, you didn't even do half of it. So I feel that, everybody should come, like some sort of stakeholder meeting, a roundtable discussion, and begin to plan and re-strategize now with one force, with one voice, and begin to push, so that no one begin to say, look, if it's not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the leader, nothing else to hold. Well, as MASSOB will say, look, we have been there before you people, there's nothing you can, and before you know it, look as if there's no organization and all that. But I feel that now that they step away from being a sovereign nation, I don't know how long it will take, but I feel that they are so close. I think everybody, every leader now should be able to come to some sort of agreement. Say, okay, come with your people. We're all the same brothers and sisters, for crying out loud. So let's begin to, disseminate information down to our people and look at the thing we need to do to get this done. But that's our take, really. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's where we have to leave it. Go to our comment section and express your, feeling in our comment section. Tell us what's your position in respect to this. They are now a registered member, 46 registered member of the UNPO. Do you think that there's going to be amalgamation of the three forces who are working towards the realization of Biafra, or do you think that the independence or the separation in between them may cause rancor in future? Let's discuss that in our comment section. Thank you very much.